Alright, welcome to episode 39 of What Is Civilization Started Over. In the last episode then, in the last episode then, we had 4 new colonial powers appear and 1 colonial power disappear, which was the Pyrenees country. As you can see in the Caribbean, why have I got this one? In the Caribbean, the Irish country has conquered most of their northern possessions in Louisiana, Florida, and the Caribbean, whilst the Dutch have taken over the Yucatan/Mexican area. The English country also made a colony around here near, I think that's the Chesapeake Bay, and the German country made a colony in Nova Scotia, also first country in North America, like actual independent one. It's Newfoundland. They're a country now. That's cool, because this country is rubbish. Yeah, not a good place to live, really. Europe stayed mostly the same, I think. I'm trying to remember what else actually happened. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the red team lost their entire Caspian coast, and now the Central Asian country, or Central Asian country, because they're teal, has the entire Caspian coast, so they're very, very strong now. I'll look at power rankings in a second. More colonization, I believe, especially over here. The Philippines is mostly colonized, and the other event was the independence of all of these Japanese countries, who now have their own ideologies. So, I always saw. Wait, did I show this last time? Was this? This was last episode, wasn't it? I might be dumb. Yeah, I'm not great at this. There's yellow ones, blue ones, normal monarchy, or absolute monarchy. The rest of most of the monarchies, except for this blue one, which is I feel like I'm wrong somehow. Oh well, let's get on with this video, because this video, next video is going to be a really important one for the series. But this video, we're going to do some like cleanup stuff, which isn't entirely cleanup. By that I really mean just setting things in motion. So let's start with that, and let's first off go over here to Ukraine, because wars in Ukraine, they just always go quickly and easily. So the Ukrainian country will be fighting a war in Ukraine, and it's against this poor greenish country. They have one major city, they're in Moldova, I think, and their capital is taken very quickly. The Ukrainians are so fast in their advance through this Moldovan country that no other country even joins the war, because they're just incredibly good at destroying this country. So they're gone, bye-bye. And that was a very quick war, but Ukraine has expanded. I don't like their borders as much, but, it's good. It's alright. So where are we going to go next? Let's go down here to Southeast Asia. Let's go over here, shall we? Because we need to talk about the Southern Indian country. And I know I said I'd talk about power rankings, but I lied. So they will be colonizing most of Java. They've nearly got a full way. There's a lot of, you need money to colonize stuff. These jungles are very big and hard to get through, so it kind of takes them a while. As for the Bengali country, I mean, these two are really pretty close now in power. They're going to move up into Sarawak, which is the southern part of Malaysian Borneo, and they also... Why is the water like this? I did not change that. I was going to, and then I didn't. They also moved to all these different areas, and they've colonized a lot of Borneo now. Going over here to the South Chinese... No, not South, kind of. The Orange Chinese country, they will continue to colonize the Philippines. They go into some of these islands, get right off the coast of Sabah, which is the northern part of Malaysian Borneo. And now they're off the coast of Mindanao. I don't know what, is this Selusi, and then this one is something else, I don't know. Is it Celeb Sea? I don't know. It's one of them. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on this sort of geography. I do like geography though. I'm alright at that. Anyway, so they colonize a bit more. Speaking of power rankings, I loads of times, so let's go do that. Number 1. The strongest country in the entire world is Central Asia. That's kind of obvious, I suppose. But number 2 is Spain. I mean, look at the... Oh yeah. It wasn't the Korean thing we did last time. I'm stupid. It was the Pyrenees thing. I'm really bad at remembering this, but I only think about it when I start the video. Yeah, the Pyrenees country. I literally talked about that at the start. I might just be dumb. Never mind. Well, the Pyrenees country, they collapsed and they got partitioned in their homeland between the Spanish and the French. The borders are okay. Spain is now the second strongest country, however. You look at all their colonies and their home territory. Lots of stuff there. Third is Bulgaria. They're still third. Mesopotamia has now moved back to fourth, so that's a big drop for them. The Koreans still sit in 5th, which is pretty good. Turkey's in 6th. Bengal's in 7th. We now have a southern Indian country in 8th. And Greece is now in 9th. And on the top 10 list, for the first time ever, we have the orange Chinese country. They're actually growing their economy pretty quickly because of all the new trade they've got with all these new Japanese countries who are growing pretty reliant on them. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes in the future. But let's go do some more stuff down here in South Asia, because we actually need to go over to the Spanish country, as Spain would like to buy things. Basically, the circumnavigation of Africa, well, basically people sail around Africa, right, to go trade with people in Asia. The Suez Canal does not exist yet, and the Egyptians definitely can't build one because they're not that strong. We haven't even got to the Industrial Revolution yet. We're like 35 years off. Spain, they've been doing stuff going around Africa, and first off, what they're going to do is go to this island and set up their own little colony right over here. But secondly, what they're going to be doing is going to the southern Indian country and offering them a deal in which they will buy one of their cities used as, not stupid, it is a trade city. It's a small province that they need to actually give them. I don't know, I'm trying to see. It's got to be a coastal one, obviously. But let's say the Spanish managed to purchase. I was kind of close to the capital. You only want to give them that. Just give them. That's a big province. I did not plan this beforehand, but I planned the event beforehand. I still planned which city. But the Spanish will be purchasing this city off of the South Indian country, which it's kind of a shame to their borders, but it makes them a load of money. And the Spanish are also going to be able to make a lot more money from trading this area, so pretty profitable for both sides. Anyway, southern India also has colonies in other areas of Africa. It would be funny if they purchased a Spanish city. I mean, they technically could, they just haven't. But they're already capitalizing on like African trade routes already, so it doesn't really matter. Like they control this entire bit. I don't know what it's called. Is it the Strait of Mozambique or something? They control that area, so they're fine. The Tanzanian/Kenyan country will finally move in towards this area, colonizing the entire, well, not colonizing, but you know what I mean, expanding into this Lake Victoria area entirely, so pretty cool for them, whilst the southern Indian colony will move towards Lake Malawi here in the southwest, and they also take over this bit because it looks disgusting. Cool. They don't expand any of their other colonies, but now we can go over to Pakistan. So recently, Pakistan became the first country to adopt the sort of warrior aristocracy ideology thing. Since then, it has expanded into Japan, but the warriors leading this country are going to decide to go to war, and they go to war with their weakest neighbor, being the orange country right over here. So the orange team, they have 2 major cities, and they're both very far north, so there's pretty much no resistance. The population of this place is very low. Its ideology is... That's not right. What even is that layer? Oh, trade routes, that makes sense. It's a council, apparently. I did not know you were a council. Wow. I just don't really ever pay attention to this country because it's kind of irrelevant. But, they try to do some stuff, but their council is very slow and corrupt. So they do badly at doing stuff. They lose their capital city, and eventually they lose a major city in the north, and the country capitulates, falling over to the Pakistani military. So there you go. They're gone now. Not too much of a loss for the world, but Pakistan is slightly stronger. Cool. Going on over... Basically, I've got a few wars I want to do in this episode, and I'm just going to alternate expansion with wars. The wars aren't going to be huge ones, but they're definitely going to happen. So, yeah, don't worry. The Uralic/Volga/I don't know country over here in the northern/southern part of Russia. It's northern Asia. Will expand northwards/eastwards. I don't know. Everything's slash now. Upwards into Russia. The Central Asian country will also be expanding a little bit, and they're very small bit of land where they can expand. Okay. Hello. I cannot color apparently. Central Asia, they're realizing they can get quite a lot of power up here, but they're also afraid that the Uralia country is going to take all the power out of this area, and they're going to lose all this stuff, like opportunities and things. Hello. So they will also need to expand up into here. That looks kind of alright. The Xinjiang country will also expand around. They're not Xinjiang, but I don't really know what this area is called. Is it like Altai or something like that? I don't know what this part of Russia is called. It's near Mongolia, probably. They also expand around here near the border of the Yellow country, who they don't really like, but there's lots of similarities between the two countries, so they kind of are forced to get along in a way. It's a very strange relationship, and I guess we'll see how it evolves if these countries are ever important in the series, which they probably won't be. I don't even think that's foreshadowing. They just probably won't be that important, really. I don't know. Let's go to our other war. And we're actually staying in the same region because we're going to a different council, which is this periwinkle, bluish, lilac-y country. And they will be declaring war on another country. If we look at their ideology, they're a council, obviously, but they are declaring war on this beige nation, which is an absolute monarchy. Recently, episode 30, I mean, the beige country, they were aligned with the Persian nation over here. As you can see, Persia did not do very well. We have these now only 4 countries that were spat out by the Persian nation, and the beige country did very badly after that war. Beforehand, they were pretty strong, but since then, they lost the red country, who rebelled away, and their economy hasn't been able to recover because nobody really wants to trade with them. There's just better guys to trade with. Even the green country is doing better. That's how bad it is. So, when the blue country declares war, they do surprisingly well for a country who's never been to war before, and is also pretty new. They do have good links with India, though, because they're both councils. They take a major city pretty quickly. The beige country isn't terrible. They've got lots of population in the south, which is where their capital is, although apparently there's some cities in the mountains. But some of the people from the mountains move up towards there, which doesn't really matter to the bluish country, Kashmir maybe. As they move in towards the capital city, there's a bit of a front line set up, and they can't really move past that very quickly. As the beige country starts to try to push back, but it's kind of unsuccessful. There's some big provinces, crikey. These decide to spearhead towards this city and maybe just separate the people off, because you can probably starve off these guys up here in the north, and that makes these guys very nervous in the south, and they make an incredible blunder where the entire country ends up being severed anyway. They lose this major city, this area is eventually lost, and the country just absolutely fumbles everything. They lose this northern area, and in the end, the entire joint military of this bluish country invades in and fully occupies the beige country. So they really did badly in that war. And let's look at the peace treaty, because these borders aren't going to be great. I hate it when borders don't look good. As you can tell if you watched the last episode, I spent a really long time drawing those Pyrenees borders, and they're meh. Anyway, the country now looks like this, which I hate, so I'm going to be changing that. Why did I draw the provinces in this area like this? I don't know. When I'm drawing borders like these, I just question why I even bothered with provinces, because I think it just brings me pain. Let's give them one more pretty huge province that's probably got some people and some mountains. There we go, the beige country has collapsed even further into just poverty. And the blue country is a bit stronger, so maybe they'll be a rival to the Pakistani country in this region. I don't know, we'll see, maybe. Let's go over to America then, because last episode we got a load of new countries in America, and they're all very eager to colonize stuff, because they're colonial like that. The Dutch country will be moving first, as they go into sort of Guatemala, maybe El Salvador region. Well, El Salvador's over there, so probably not. They even start to move up into Mexico. I don't know the provinces of Mexico well enough. It's like there's Yucatan and there's Baja California. Those are the famous ones that I feel like everyone knows about. But there you go. The Dutch also go into the southern area a bit, but they're only just starting on colonization, so let them get into it. The Spanish, they're afraid of losing all the Central Asian territory. This is not Central Asia, Central American territory, so they move up here into El Salvador and Honduras, and there's just a very small bit left, which they'll eventually colonize, probably. I keep finding these islands I haven't colored in. I don't know why. I haven't colored them in. They continue to move down the Pacific coast, which, they haven't really crossed the Pacific Ocean yet, but they could definitely try, and that would improve their tradability, because not many countries from Europe can actually get across the The Pacific Ocean, I had a mind blank there. Crikey. All the provinces of this area, they're really good. Just so many straight lines. It's excellent. I can't wait till actual countries appear in this area. The Galapagos, have they even got there yet? Probably not, but maybe sometime soon. They will also move in further in this region. They're just slowly trying to get into the Andes and the Amazon rainforest. There's just loads of horrible geographical challenges in South America, and the Spanish are attempting to fight them and not doing great. You know, it is what it is. They'll try. They move in further in this sort of Colombian/Venezuelan area, and they also expand their area in the Guyanas. See, Spain has a very big colony. This country would probably be quite a strong country, even if it was independent. Like without Spain, this would be a strong area to have. It would just be very isolated, so it'd probably lose a load of money very quickly. But there you go. Their colony is very big. Going on upwards to these other newer countries, we've got the Nova Scotia nation. Last time apparently they didn't take over this little bit over here. I just randomly have these bits where I talk extremely quickly. I'm not Spanish or Italian, so I don't know why I do that. I'm actually 20% German apparently, according to Ancestry, so that's crazy. Because I'm a lot better at speaking French than I am at speaking German. Like, exceptionally better. In German, I just get incredibly confused when I try and speak that. But yep, they expand into this sort of Arcadia. I don't know enough about this bit. There's Halifax. There's a town called Liverpool that's over here. Well, Liverpool. Yeah, actually, I've kind of... Actually, I was going to say Birkenhead, but Birkenhead's even further along the peninsula than Liverpool is. This reddish country, they're actually going to finally try to expand their nation, which goes very badly, but, you know, they give it a go. Just to show to the Newfoundlanders that, yeah, we're fine without you, we don't need you. But yeah, they send their country into a massive recession again, so they weren't fine. Anyway, the English will expand up into this New Jersey, potentially, region. There's Long Island. It's pretty long and unimaginatively named. Very sad. So they expand their colony even further across the American coast. They probably make a load of money. They built some canal with some special type of concrete and create New York. Cool. And there we go. We're going to leave their colony there. We go down to the Irish, who gained like the biggest power boost out of anyone in the last few episodes, gaining all of these colonial possessions. Oh my god, the Pyrenees. They still exist. Nuh-uh. They're gone. So Ireland will expand their Louisiana colony because they are realizing something that the Pyrenees country just never really thought about, and that is that they can connect both these colonies, and that'll probably make, keeping them in your country a bit easier. But the Pyrenees country was kind of dumb, so they didn't think about that. I mean, Ireland has a bit of a dumb leadership as well. Their leadership is just incredibly, it's a monarchy. It's an absolute monarchy, but there's really no rights or freedoms for any people in this country. If you say like one bad thing about the king, you're immediately killed. It's very medieval in the nation, despite the fact that it's the 1700s now. The Koreans continue to go down this coast. They're just chilling out here, literally chilling. It's freezing cold. They're in Alaska, but actually they might be in Canada now. A little bit of Canada. British Columbia, woohoo! The area that was initially colonized by the Russians and the Spanish, called British Columbia. I like that. They expand out a little bit more. They're probably just rivers or something over here, but also I just want to better the borders in this area. And they continue along in their main, western Alaskan region. There's a place called Barrow up here. We did about Barrow in school, but it's just there because of what? What are you doing, Mr. Island? How dare you exist? And this video is already 19 minutes long, so I kind of need to do our fourth and final war of this episode. They're not fascinating wars, but let's go over here to Europe, because the Rhineland country, they did some stuff in episode 36. They got fully occupied, but recently they got a ton of land. They look actually very cool, and they would like to connect with their Luxembourg territory, just like the Dutch and Luxembourg. So what they do is they invade the Salmon Nation. They can also invade the Pink one, but the Pink country is slightly stronger. I'm going to say that even though they have less cities, so shut up. They do pretty well at moving in here in the north. There's quite a big movement in this area. Oh my. In this area to join the Rhineland country anyway, so that's alright. They take one major city very quickly because their troops here and over here, because they're allowed to do that. And they also really just smaller scale because these countries are smaller scale. They move in across the border fully and even go into this area. However, the Salmon country has a lot of cities in their western area, so they managed to push back around here and even start an offensive into the Rhineland country, getting close to this major city. So that's all bad for the Rhineland country, but they are significantly stronger. So they push around to these eastern areas where there's less people, and it's all going pretty well. And then the blue country joins. White country, I mean. You can't really see that. Maybe you can see that a little bit better. They invade around here in this southwestern region because they don't really want to face the population centers in the capital city, but they eventually do. People in the capital, well, these western cities, I mean, of the country, managed to push back pretty well. However, the blue country just sends the rest of their military. This country is actually reasonably strong. They have a coastline. Try and get a coastline. That'll make your country stronger. So they take the capital city, and basically this country just starts to fold over to the eastern regions. The Rhineland country will completely eradicate them from that exclave in Luxembourg, and from here they just push out and take this major city. The rest of the government officials and probably monarchy, right? Absolute monarchy. Wow. Are hiding out in this remaining major city until it's taken. For the rest of the country surrenders over to the French country, the South French country. Cool. Now we can look at a peace treaty. Some bits are going to be extremely obvious, and the rest of it's going to be extremely hideous. So the Rhineland country will take these two northern provinces, connecting up their territory and taking a major city, whilst the southern French country will try and take provinces and ensure their borders don't look horrific. So they take these three other ones over here, along with, I don't know, just those ones? Do you just want those ones? That's probably better for the borders. So they take this stuff, and yeah. Were any of the events in this episode extremely important for things in the future? Maybe. I mean, I guess you have to see. So you can read between the lines. But yeah, there's today's episode. Wasn't as eventful or sensationalist as the previous ones, but yeah, thanks for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Like, subscribe, and we're at 89 subscribers. That's crazy. Have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.